FlossTube. My name is Christine, and you have stopped by the channel Calico Whimsy, and this is day one of my April vlog. I thought I would bring you outside on this lovely April 2nd day. It's Sunday, April 2nd, and I think I had just mentioned in my March vlog that I hardly set foot outside in March. It's been so cold, and it's actually a little bit warm today. So I thought I would take you out here to see how everything in my yard looks before it turns all green and lush. I did my nails for Easter. I went to the dollar store and bought a whole bunch of $1.25 nail polishes to give them a try, some different brands, and it makes me happy when I look at my nails, especially when they're all colorful and they look like Easter eggs. Okay, this is my birthday month. I don't know what my plans are for this month, but I am going to start something new, a Dimensions kit most likely, and it's going to be related to something by the sea. So stay tuned. I'm happy to have you here. All right, I came back inside now, and I'm going to do a little bit of stitching today. And the first order of business is I need to get going on this RTO kit that you have now seen in my January vlog, February, March, and now April. And it's not that big of a project. Why am I still working on it? I will get this done this month. I just have very little to do. It's the flavor of Salt, Wind, and Sun. You've seen it. If you've been watching my channel, you've seen it. And I don't have very much left to do. I just need to stitch the bird, the bird's reflection, and a little bit of stonework right here, and then just a little bit of back stitching. Not long at all. So, like I said, first order of business is to get this one done. And then I will probably start my birthday new start, even though my birthday isn't until April 20th. That's kind of toward the end of the month. So I think, do I want to start something on my birthday or just in April in honor of my birthday month? I'll give it some thought, because I haven't decided what I'm going to stitch yet. But like I said, first order of business is this one. Another kit I might do, let me grab it. Okay, this Mill Hill kit called Bacon and Eggs. It's one that I might want to do. I might just want to squeeze in one more little small one for Spring into Mill Hill, the Spring into Mill Hill Sal. And this is just so cute that I want to stitch it. I don't really want to start another big spring Mill Hill because I have other, I know I'm going to be starting a new, probably Dimensions kit for my birthday, so I didn't want to get started on another bigger Mill Hill kit, but I might do this one here. It just looks like that, the beads and the floss, and yeah, there's nothing really spring-like about Bacon and Eggs other than the fact that this is in the spring bouquet. So if Mill Hill thinks it's spring, well, then I think it's spring too. It just looks like an old kind of 50s diner look to it. So cute. I love the toast with jam. Okay, I'm going to get to stitching, and I'll give you an update whenever I have something to update you on. And I will see you soon. Happy Sunday, happy April, happy stitching.
Good morning, welcome back. We are at April 10th now. Yesterday was Easter. I hope you all had a nice Easter. For those of you that celebrate, I had a wonderful time with my family, and the weather was beautiful, and it's actually beautiful here in Colorado today on this Monday. We are going to hit about 75 degrees, I think. So I'm going to really quickly show you what I've done since we last met. I can tell you I did not finish the Seagull. I don't think I worked on that anymore. Or did I work on it? You know what, let me show it to you just in case I did get something done. Okay, I don't know, had I had any of the reflection done? Because I'm starting to get that done, and I did a little bit more here. Just have a tiny more of like half cross stitches to do and a little back stitching there, but I did start working on the reflection and filled in a little bit of the bird. So not too much, but that might be different from the last time I checked in. Okay, and then after finishing the Mill Hill milk can that I showed you last time, I decided to do another one for spring into Mill Hill. This is one I recently purchased called Bacon and Eggs, and I was going to show you me getting started on that, but it just happened so quick that I started it and finished it. So here it is. Can you see in the light there how cute that turned out? So cute. So I have not done, I usually do the beaded hanger just kind of while I'm sitting there at it. So I finished this yesterday morning before I got my day started, and I didn't have time. Oh, look at that. I just noticed I have a uncrossed stitch. Can you see it right there? I got to go back and do one more little stitch over there. Yeah, admittedly I didn't have the best lighting when I was working on this yesterday, so anyway, that turned out super cute. I didn't put the backing on it yet, and I don't know, I was almost kind of thinking maybe doing the refrigerator magnet on the back side of this instead of the hanger, but I don't know, most of them I finished with the hanger, so maybe I'll just keep doing that. Who knows? And then when I finished that, and it was Easter, and I just kind of had an urge to work on something Easter, and this one I keep meaning to start this Mill Hill kit every Easter. Well, I want to start it before Easter and have it done by Easter, and I never seem to ever get around to it. So yesterday, after I finished that one, I was like, oh, I'm going to go dive into this one and get started on it. And then my day got busy, and next thing I know, it was 11 o'clock at night, and it was just too late to start something. But look at those colors. They're so colorful, but I just love those little peeps right there. So, I don't know, I kind of feel like I want to start this anyway and just kind of get it going so that next year at this time it'll already be sort of in progress and I can pick it up and work on it. So that might be happening later today because I was also going to get a new birthday start going. So I went into my closet of Dimensions kits, and while I was there, I did finally do a final count on them, and I think the number was 65. I have 65 kits. That's including the gold, the Dimensions Gold collection, the petites, and just the regular collections. And I will do a stash video, but I have a couple more I'm waiting on, so I don't know. But anyway, so I wanted to start something that's sort of by the sea related. So I pulled out, I had probably about 6 or 7 to choose from. I had them sitting out on my table. I put them all away. I should have showed you, but this is the one that I have finalized. So it's Beacon at Rocky Point will be my new start. Now the question is, should I wait until my birthday, which is April 20th, to start it? Or should I just get started on it now because it's the month of my birthday? That's the question. So you shall see in the next clip what I decided to do. Have a happy day. I'm back, and I just wanted to talk about this project here because I said that I tentatively was thinking about starting it. So I opened it up and I sorted the floss, and I took one look at the chart, which I can't show you. I took one look at that chart, and it is intense. So I have decided to just pack this little thing back up again and put it away until next year and not get started on it because there is a lot of color changes in there. It's adorable, but because I'm starting a new Dimensions kit, I just know that I'll start this and then it probably won't get much love. So I decided to just keep it at having the floss sorted, and then I'm going to put that away until next spring. And another thing that helped me make that decision was because I just got 2 new kits in the mail, and they are the 2 of the newer Mill Hill kits from the Laura Birch series. There's 4 new ones, and I picked up 2 of them. These 2 right here. The other 2 are, there's one with black swans and another one with white swans, which are pretty, but these I was really drawn to these. So this is the peacock and the hummingbird. And what's interesting about these is that they do not come with perforated paper, they come with linen. Oh, here's the swans. You can see the black swans and the white swans right there. Very pretty. But yes, this comes with a 28 count linen. So if you look right there, that's kind of what it looks like. Ooh, look at those colors. Boy, they just really pop out at you. So I think in addition to starting a dimensions kit, I'm thinking maybe, so I think I'll start my dimensions kit before my birthday, and then on my birthday I'll start one of these, and I'm leaning heavily toward the hummingbird. Even though I do have a really beautiful hummingbird that's not a Mill Hill kit in progress, but I don't know. I just can't resist those colors. They're so bright. But of course, the peacock is beautiful too. And I don't think I've ever stitched a peacock before. Maybe just one in one of my samplers. But that's pretty too. I'm going to start, I think, one of these on my birthday. So, okay. I am just getting so close to a finish on my Seagull. Talk about a slow burn, that one. It just, the closer I get to the end, the longer it seems to keep taking, but I am so close. You will see a finish in the next clip. Okay, did I say the date? What is the date today? April 12th. It's April 12th today. Okay. Tonight. I should just focus on getting that done tonight. Okay, see you soon.
Guess what? It's April 13th and I have a finish. I actually finished doing the last bit of the back stitching this morning and it is so cute. I just love this so much. The back stitching was a little bit tedious there around the bird, but I just love it. I think it turned out so good. So there it is. RTO with the flavor of salt, wind, and sun. This was my first RTO kit and I loved it. I definitely will do more in the future. And there we go. I'm going to take a picture of it for Instagram here soon. And now I am free to start a new dimensions kit. Am I going to start it today? Either going to start it today or tomorrow. Most likely today. If I have time this afternoon, I might even record me doing the new start. Okay, see you soon.
Hey Stitchers, I thought that I would go ahead and open up this kit with you because I like to watch people open up their dimensions kits and dig in and see what's inside. But let's go ahead and open this up. Let me take a sip of coffee and then move that out of the way so it doesn't spill, and then let's open this up. This is what it looks like on the back side. This looks like it has more floss in it, almost more floss than the wreath I'm working on. All right, so like usual, we have the cover photo here that I like to keep to put in my project bag. And then, if you've never seen the inside of a dimensions kit before, so what it usually comes with are these floss organizers that look like this. Okay, looks like there's 3 of them here that have the colors on them. And nice, they're very generous with the amount that they give you. Yeah, like that. And I'll show you how I like to make them just a little bit more manageable. We'll do that in a minute, but this is what the colors look like. So very pretty. All right, we got that next. This one is a piece of Ada, and just by looking at it, it looks like 18 count. And here is it, and it's usually very, very stiff. Now you can see it's not a very big project, but these, they really pack a punch. And there's a lot going on in these little Dimensions Gold Petites. They take quite a bit of time to work on. Not much else to say about the fabric, but you can just see it's 18 count. I mean it, let me see if it, what it says. Okay, yeah, usually right at the front so you can, you know, see it there. It says it's 18 count. Yeah, pre-sorted thread, 18 count white Aida, needle and instructions. So the needle is always hidden. You always have to be careful because it's usually hidden within the instructions right here, the chart and the instructions. So I like to locate the needles first thing. And this is going to be the chart, so I don't want to show you what that looks like. And as expected, this is what the needle looks like right there. Sometimes you get 2 needles. I think maybe with the bigger kits you get 2 needles, but this is just the one here. So we'll keep that off to the side. And then just real quick, you kind of got a little glimpse there too, just to show you kind of what the chart kind of looks like. It's usually kind of red, blue, and black. So I like to make a working copy of my charts, so I will be doing that here pretty soon before I get started. Because these usually stick around for a while, so I like to have just a color copy of it. And then on the inside it also has some instructions there, so it gives you a little bit about stitch diagrams and kind of how to get started. And you know, it looks like it even has some framing instructions, but it kind of gives you a gist on how to do the regular stitches, back stitches. I don't think so. Half stitches. So in this one, you're going to get half stitches, back stitches. There's instructions for a lazy daisy, and I do think this kit does actually have some lazy daisies in it, and then French knots. So what else do we have here? This is what the key looks like there. This is like the name of the floss there. So this is the symbol, and like this one is definitely showing you that you're going to need 1 strand of that color and 1 strand of that color for that symbol. So these are the blends. And this symbol right here is going to require 1 of that and 1 of that. And then you look up here to see what kind of stitch you're going to be doing, and it's a full cross stitch. These are half cross stitches with blends. So see what I mean? There's a lot going on. So you have to kind of pay attention. Is it a full cross stitch and is it a blend? Or is it a half cross stitch and a blend? This blend here, if you gotta, you know, you can see some of them call for 2 strands of that color mixed with 1 strand of that color. So that's going to be 3 strands, and it's going to be a half cross stitch. So you really need to be paying attention when you do these. And then over here it looks like these are the symbols for your back stitches, and look at there is, you definitely have to do some lazy daisies in this one, and that's what the symbol for that looks like. And then the French knots. So these are the French knot symbols, probably for the flowers, the lazy daisy, and the back stitching. So once you've done a few dimensions kits, these instructions make a lot more sense. It's kind of hard when you're doing one for the first time. You feel like you have to refer, you know, it's kind of hard to wrap your head around it all. But let me look at this picture again. Let's look at this together and see. So yeah, the flowers there are going to be where a lot of the French knots are going to be. Let me grab my scissors here. So yeah, you're going to get a lot of French knots there. Back stitching, of course, is everywhere up here in the house and in the rocks. Where are the lazy daisies going to be? Oh yeah. If you look closely in the leaves right there, you can see, I don't know if my camera's focusing or not, but there are some lazy daisies right there. All right, yeah, so looks pretty intense, definitely intense. Now, normally what I do, so what they recommend, and what I used to do for years, is you fold the fabric in half and then in half again. I don't always go by the way they fold it because it's a little off, but you want to, you know, find the center of it by folding it in half and then folding it in half again. So let's just do this a little bit better than they did it. But even if you don't, it's close enough. Get like a nice crease on it. And let's crease it this way, like this. And then I get that center a good pinch. And then I'll be right back. Okay, I just went to go grab some pins because after I do a nice crease on that, then I just, you could use a counting pin for this. So that's the center of the fabric right there. Now, what the wise thing to do and what they recommend doing is starting your stitching at the center. That way you know for a fact that you're design is going to be centered. And the way you find the center so you found the center of the fabric, and then I can't show you the chart, but I can show you that you look for these symbols right here on the side of the chart, this arrow. There's going to be one on the side, and there's going to be one on the top. And what you do is you know, kind of find the center, and then you know that that's the symbols that you're going to start stitching on. And I did that for years. I started in the center, and then I just started liking starting up at the edge a little bit more, and so I've been doing that forever. But I don't know, maybe I might just go old school today and start stitching this one in the center. But if you don't want to start in the center, you kind of have to be very careful, and what you do is you count, you look at your chart and you count how many stitches. So say for instance you wanted to start up on the corner up here, what you could do is then take another pin and just very carefully, and I do this all the time and it works out just fine, but you just want to count your stitches. So you have to count, you know, very carefully, like 60 stitches up and then 43 stitches over, and then put a pin right there like that. And then that's how you know to start up in the upper corner if you want to do that. But I think I might just go ahead and start right in the center for this one, because really that's where all the good stuff is. And when you start up on the upper, like I usually do, you end up having to spend a lot of time stitching sky before you get into anything good. And so, I don't know, I'm kind of feeling like I want to dig into the center. Okay, so I located the center of the chart, and so there's a symbol that I want to start in that's actually one of the windows right there, but it doesn't start right in the middle. It actually starts, let me see here, from the center. I have to go over, so I need to go over from the center. So 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is actually right where I want to start my first stitch. Okay, so I just went and got a really small hoop. This is probably not the one I'm going to keep it in for very long, just because I like to have a little bit bigger hoop, but this one happens to be nearby. It's a 5-inch hoop. So let's go ahead and get this put in our hoop. And these dimensions kits, because this Aida is usually so stiff, it takes a little bit of finagling to get it in. So it's important to make sure your fabric is oriented in the right way. You know, you don't want to start stitching something portrait when it's supposed to be landscape. So just some things to remember when you're getting ready to go. Okay, I'm going to see what floss I need for that very first symbol, and then we'll go ahead and put in our first few stitches and get started. And I'll be right back when I get my floss loaded up with my first color. Okay, I have my first piece of floss loaded up, and I doubled up the piece of floss so that one end has a loop on it, because that way you don't have to anchor your floss in the back. It's just, you can do the loop start. So I am going to go ahead and, so I can take this pin out, because it usually when I have a pin in like that, I can see that the hole in the Aida is a little bit bigger, so I can still keep track of where that first stitch goes. So in order to do the loop start, you just come up from the back and then just pull that till it's almost through, and then stick your needle through the loop just like that, and it anchors it. And I don't have the best lighting right here, but let's get that in, and let's do the second part of that first stitch. Okay, and then I need to go find myself a needle minder, and that is the first stitch of this project. So let me go find a needle minder. I'll be right back, and then I just wanted to show you one more thing about how I like to it's something that's completely not necessary, but something I like to do with these floss organizers to make them just a little bit more manageable. Okay, so I need to get myself a lighthouse needle minder, but whenever I have a needle minder that doesn't quite match my project like I like to do, then I usually always just grab my little camera, because I think that this is appropriate, because it would be, a lighthouse is a perfect thing that I would love to take a picture of. So we'll just use the camera right there, and then that will mind my needle for me until I get back to it, and I'll show you quickly what I'm going to do next. And I won't make you watch me do this whole thing, but because these are super long, they start to get tangled after a while. So I like to just, and this tip is courtesy of, what's her channel name? She's a pharmacist. Stitching Farmer is where I saw this idea. So I like to take my hole punch and just right on the other side of the symbol, and it's kind of thick right there because it's kind of double thick because of the little foam there, but I just take my hole puncher and just punch a hole right on the other side of that. Yeah, I mean, it kind of goes through those threads, but that's okay. So see how you have a hole like there, like that. Then I take that floss, and I just like to cut it flush with that so it doesn't have the glue on the tip. And then you take that and you fold, you match up the two ends so that you have a loop like that. And then I like to just go in from the front, just like that, so that you have the loop. Hopefully my hands aren't getting in the way, but you have a loop like this. You know how to do that, where you just grab it and pull it through like that. Now, this length here is now half as long. So I'm going to do that with all of them, and that way it matches the symbol so it doesn't get too far away from it, but they're shorter. And it's just much more manageable than these really long ones. So I'm going to do that, and then I think that's the only thing to talk about. I'm going to go make a copy, what's it called, a working copy of my chart, and then I might just work on stitching a little bit of the window. So I'll show you where I started. So the center of the design ended up being these windows right here. So I'm just stitching the black part of the windows right there at the top of the house. And that's the center of the design. Now what I may do is I may work up this way and kind of start to head over to this part of the chart just so that I can then work down. So I think I will. That way I can work on a little bit of the lighthouse. We'll see. I don't like to save this guy for last, because then you've gotten the good stuff done and you have the boring stuff last. So I do want to probably work myself up here and start getting some of the sky out of the way, and then work myself then down to the house and save probably the rocks maybe for the end. We'll see though. I may go in a whole complete different route. We'll have to see. But okay, thank you so much for starting this project along with me today, and I will see you when I have more progress to show on this project. Good morning, FlossTube. It is April 21st, Friday, April 21st, and my birthday was yesterday. So I have officially survived another year, getting ready to embark on a new year coming up, and I'm extremely grateful for that. I wanted to give you a progress update here on what I've been stitching, but first I wanted to show you this adorable little angel. Actually, let me take a sip of coffee first. My mother-in-law always gets me a sweet, thoughtful, beautiful gift, and this year she got me this willow tree angel. It's called Sign for Love Willow Tree. It's just beautiful, and like her and I both agree, you could never have too many angels watching over you in your life. So maybe I'll just put her right there watching over my cross stitching. Okay, let's get to the progress. Okay, in the last clip I started, oh, okay, that's not going to be the right spot for her. How many times will I knock the angel over? Okay, let's put her out of the way, kind of right there. Okay, that'll be good. That should be a safe spot for her. Okay, so in the last video, I was working on, oops, can't show you the chart there. Let me grab this out. My beacon at daybreak. And you all were with me when I started that project. And I have to say, I posted a picture on Instagram yesterday, earlier on my birthday, and then last night I got quite a bit more done. So I am just going like gangbusters on this thing. I do not know what is going on with me. I thought this thing would be one of those Dimensions kits that just goes on, but I think that I may actually see a finish this month, maybe. I don't know, we'll see. I still have the bottom half to do, but this is my progress so far. Look at that. So let me go get my pointer, because I always forget. Okay, you might hear my washing machine going because it seems to always be going. This is where I started in the middle when I said I was starting at the window right there. That's where I started, and then I was going to work up this way, and that's not actually the way I went. I actually started working on the house, and then I could not stop. It was just, I just had to do like one more part of the house, one more part of the house. I ended up doing all the house, and I got to about there, and I thought, okay, I better stop and do some of the sky. So then I went over to the sky, and I started working on a lot of this sky area. Then I was getting a little tired of that, so then I went and started doing more of the lighthouse. And then I did just the last few days, I worked on this, finishing this one symbol of this. I think what's so nice about this is that unlike other Dimensions kits that call for 5, 6, you know, 3, even 3, 4 strands of floss, it's real time consuming and kind of hard on the hands to do. But this, the back stitching and the half stitches here only call for 2. I think the most there's going to be is 3 strands. And so that's just the threshold of what is hard to pull through this 18 count fabric. So, you know, once you get to 4 strands, it starts to be tough. But this here was just 2 strands. A lot of this was 2, I think, maybe. I think there was a couple of these colors here have 3 strands. But it just makes it go so fast when it's not a struggle to stitch through it. And I think that's why I've really enjoyed it. So this right here is about the top of the design, maybe about right here. So I'm close. I'm close to getting the sky done. There's only about 3 other colors up here, but they're blends. And I haven't done the back stitching yet, but I think once I finish the sky, I'm going to back stitch all of the lighthouse, and then I'm going to continue down into the bottom part, which looks like this right here. So there's a lot going on down there. So that's going to be a little bit more time consuming than the top half, I think, because of a lot of color changes and French knots and things like that. But I'm going to try to stick with that. But I did tell you that I was going to start something new on my actual birthday day. If you remember, I was going to start this kit here, this Mill Hill kit. So let's open this up here and take a look at. Oh, look at that. I was being good. And I actually put a sticky note in with this because I don't ever journal when I start things. I kind of journal them on Instagram, but in case I don't do it on Instagram, then I'm always kind of like, when did I start that? So yes, many people have told me, why don't you just put a note in with the pattern and with when you started? So yes, that's what I'm doing. Look at these beautiful colors. Ooh, they're so beautiful. So colorful. Here's the beads. Comes with these 3 packs of beads here. And I went ahead and got started on it, and it comes with this, I think did I show you? Maybe I did show you when I opened it, that it comes with this linen, which is, if the color's not true, and I don't think it is right now, it's sort of an artichoke, sort of sage green artichoke 28 count linen. And I got started on it. Okay, I'm going to have to move my little angel, or she's going to get bumped. There's the little bit of start that I did on it. That's the beak of the peacock. Have I been calling it hummingbird? Peacock, because remember I did have the hummingbird, and I decided just to do the peacock. at the last minute because I have a lot of hummingbird stuff. So I thought, let's do the peacock. But already I had to, boy, I pulled this out. I start looking at the linen, and when you haven't stitched on linen in a while and you're stitching on Aida, I forgot what a challenge it is to do the over 2. And so always takes me a minute to, I got to get out the bright light and figure out where I'm going, because especially with linen, some of the strands that you cross over are like just so thin and small. You could easily make a miscount there. So this has been a little bit of a challenge. And it was very tempting to not start something new and just continue on with my lighthouse, but I will persevere because they are 2 different projects. This one is much easier to do, and so I do that in the evenings because if you all remember, or if you're new for the first time, I'm a huge hockey fan, and our team, the Colorado Avalanche, is playing in the Stanley Cup playoffs right now. We just started our first, so each time you play a team, in case you're not familiar, you play the best of 7, and then you go on to play the next team best of 7, and so on and so forth. So we are playing the Seattle Kraken for our first team. We're against, so it's going to be the best of 7. We've played 2 games. We lost 1 and we won 1. We actually won last night. They gave me a birthday win. I was very happy about that. So all that to say that now that the hockey playoffs are going, and I'm going to be, definitely spending a lot of time watching hockey. Let's hope we don't get eliminated. I think that is all I have to show you with this quick update. Oh, I did spend, I did say my mom gave me some money for my birthday, and I decided yesterday to get onto Amazon and buy myself a set of 3 Nerge hoops, and they're going to be here today. So I might come in here and film a little clip, or in the next clip let you know what I think about those, because I think I'm going to switch this. I won't be able to do the upper corner up here without moving it out of the hoop. So originally you can see the hoop where I started. It was a smaller hoop, then I went to a bigger hoop. But the Nerge hoops are sort of rectangular, so I think that it'll work better in the corners up here. But I wanted just to show you this before I moved it. So yeah, I'll give you a little, give my thoughts on the Nerge hoop when those show up, and I'm excited about that. And one last thing to talk about, let me move this out of the way before I move on, is in honor of my birthday, I have decided to do a giveaway. And sorry, this is in a package and you can't really see, but I'm going to give away these 2 kits. The peacock, I know you can't really see it very well. I don't want to take them out of the package. This is the package that they came in, and I want to keep it that way for shipping. But, okay, just so you can see it better. This is the one I'm giving away. This is the hummingbird. And obviously, the one that I'm stitching is the peacock. So I'm going to give away these 2 kits for 2 lucky winners. And all you have to do in the comments below is either say the word peacock or hummingbird, because that's what I'm going to do the search on in the generator. And I will then pass these 2 lovely kits on to 2 lucky winners, so that you can enjoy them along with me. Or, no obligation to start them right away. All of the rules apply for the giveaway. Must be 18 years old so that you can give me your address, and please don't use the word giveaway in the comments below so we can keep the spammers out. And I think that's it. I'd prefer you be a subscriber, but it's not absolutely necessary. I'm not going to check. And I think that's all for now. So good luck, and I'll see you probably one more time, maybe 2 more times. I'll give you the thoughts on the Nerge, and then I'll come in one more time and show you my end of month progress, because I have a feeling this video is getting pretty long. Okay, happy stitching. See you in a little while. Of course, I forgot to talk about one thing. When I start a new kit, I usually, and I didn't mention this because a lot of times when I start a new kit, I don't take the time to do it, but I do like to get my sewing machine and run a zigzag stitch along the edge just to keep the edge from fraying. And sometimes I don't do it right when I start a new kit because I don't want to take the time, and I'll wait until it starts to fray and annoy me, and then I'll kind of then take it over to the sewing machine. But surprisingly enough, this hasn't even started to fray yet. So, and I don't think I'm even going to probably need to even bother with it because I'll probably be done before it even does start to fray. But I did want to mention that's one thing you want to do a lot of times with these when starting a new kit or any project is to, you know, just keep these edges from fraying. Now, same with this here. I just jumped right in and started stitching, but I think this is probably going to fray a little bit easier. This is witch-elt linen, and it's like stiff as a board. And, you know, I think they definitely put some type of sizing on it. So we'll have to see. If it doesn't fray, I won't bother with it. But if it does, then I'll take it off and just run a zigzag around it to keep it from fraying. Okay. That's all now, I promise.
Hey guys, it's Friday, April 28th. I've got one more weekend of April left to get some progress done. And I realized that I needed to start thinking about Stitch Mania and whether or not I'm going to do anything for it. But I also remembered that I was going to tell you what I thought of the Nerge hoops that I just got. So I'm just going to briefly talk about all of those things. But first, I want to show you my progress because I did some back stitching. And I am currently now about 2/3 done with this. So I got all the sky done, and it just never ceases to amaze me when I do the back stitching on a Dimensions kit, how amazing it looks. It just like comes to life right before your eyes. I still have the French knots to do. There's going to be some French knots in this little flower basket here, and I think in this little planter here, and then some French knots up in these flowers up here, and some French knots down here because those are all flowers. But I'm going to wait until the end to do those, I think, because I was a little concerned that when so you can see when I put this, so this is the Nerge hoop, one of the 3 that I got. Let me grab the other sizes really quickly just to show you here. So this is probably equivalent to about a 6-inch, and this is about an 8-inch, and that's about an 11-inch. They're rectangular, so they're not square, but yeah, the longest sides are about 6, 8, and 10. No, probably. I think the longest side on this one is 11, but that just gives you a rough idea. So my concern now, first of all, I love the tension on this. I love the tension that it gave. I'm very impressed with that. I love that that they're slightly square. I like that better than the hoop, especially when you're working on square designs. But my only concern is when I go to move this is that these have a pretty deep, the reason why they have such good tension is because there's a deep groove on this. And I'm a little concerned that when I pinch my stitches in between that it's going to distort them permanently, especially where I've backstitched. So what I'd like to do is move this to this bigger hoop because I think it will all fit. But the problem with that is I have probably not enough extra fabric to fit it in this and pull it tight. And so I have to ask myself if at this stage of the game, if I want to add extra fabric around the outside edge to get it to fit in this, and that way I could have the whole project displayed in a hoop without me having to distort any of the stitches. And that way I can do all the French knots and all the back stitching and everything. Or do I want to just switch back to like something like a Q-snap and just move it down because I feel like the Q-snap won't distort the stitches. But I don't know, it's like after I've done the back stitching on the house like that, I just have a hard time pinching it in between a hoop or a Q-snap or anything like that. So I may have to just add some fabric onto this, but I'm going to play around. I just wanted to show you this though before I moved it and before I do anything and take it out of this. I wanted just to show you that I am happy with the tension of it so far. All right, so that's that. I have decided, since I only have one weekend left, I think I'm just going to halt on this one for the weekend, maybe, and work on my peacock that I started on my birthday. I'm really enjoying that. And I was going to show you an update on that, but I don't have it with me right now, so I'll show you that in one more clip at the end of the month. I'll show you if I've done any more on this and what I decided to do with it as far as adding fabric or how I've decided to move it down, and also show you the progress on my peacock. And as for Mania plans, I'm probably not going to do anything drastic for Stitch Mania because May is going to be a busy month. It always is a busy month. So there's Mother's Day, my anniversary, Mother's Day, my mom's birthday, Memorial Day, and this year my youngest son Riley graduates from high school. I can't believe it. It was just like yesterday that we were doing those first few days of preschool, and now he's graduating senior. So super excited about that. He does an online school, has been doing an online school his whole entire schooling career. And they are going to, so when my older son graduated a couple of years ago, they didn't have his same online school they didn't have an official graduation because it was just right post-COVID and people were still not getting together for things. But my son, this year we'll have actually at a university, Magnus Arena, his school is going to put on an actual cap and gown graduation. So super excited about that. That's going to be right at the beginning of June. So exciting times. But that being said, I think what I'm going to do is continue working on this in May. And since it won't take me the whole month, I'm going to continue working on this, continue working on my peacock. So hopefully get 2 finishes in May. And then I think what I'm going to do is look through my whip pile. And I'm either going to find the one that's closest to being finished, and I'm going to work on that. Or I'm going to find see if I can figure out my oldest project and give that some time. But I'm thinking it's going to be a sort of a monogamania in some form or another. And you'll just have to stay tuned and see where I go with that. Okay, this video is probably getting really long because I wasn't going to do a bird section at the end, but I had a fun visitor in my yard yesterday, and he doesn't seem to be here anymore. He was just here for one afternoon, and I took some pictures and video, and I will post those at the end. And that's it for now. So I will see you as we approach the end of April and head into May. See you soon. Hey guys, I just got back from the Dollar Tree. I was looking to get more of those little frames that fit the Mill Hill buttons and beads, and they haven't had any for a while, and I think rumor has it they may be discontinued, so I'm kind of sad about that. But while I was there, I did find this really cute headband that I think was adorable, and they only had one left, so it wasn't a total waste of a trip. I just love the dollar store. All right, I decided to bite the bullet and attach fabric around all 4 sides of my project so that I can stick it into the big Nerge hoop. So this is the big 11-inch, it's like 11 by 10.5. And now you can see that the whole project fits perfectly in there, and I can stitch the bottom third without impeding on having to clamp down any of the previous stitches that I've already done. And then I can also crank this down as tight as I want and not have to worry about it. So, yep, I am ready to go. I did want to say one thing about these Nerge hoops too, is that they are a little bit heavier than like my Susan Bates hoops, which I usually use. So I think they fall somewhere in between the weight of so they're definitely heavier than the Susan Bates hoops, and they're heavier than Q-snaps. So I'm not sure how I'm going to like stitching on this big size one. I'll have to see how heavy it is for my hands, because sometimes even the Q-snaps can get a little bit heavy to hold for me. So I know that's a personal preference. A lot of times I'll lean this up to like the edge of the chair, and then I can almost do, if you prop it right, you can almost do like a 2-handed stitching with it, so kind of, how, if you have it propped up on something. So we'll see though, but they do have a bit of a weight to them for sure. Okay, I'm going to go probably stitch a little bit. I've just really been enjoying sitting on my patio this morning, stitching on my peacock. And so I don't know when I'll get back to this, but definitely you'll see a finish to this in May for sure. Well, here we are at the end of the month already, and I'm sad to say that my hockey team got eliminated out of the playoffs last night, so you won't have to hear me blather on about hockey going into May. So there's that. Let's just keep this brief because I noticed that my video is already getting to be over an hour. So I just wanted to show you that I did put the beaded hanger on this. I usually do it right when I'm done, and then this was just sitting next to me all month. And I didn't want to put the kit away with the beads in it until I finished up the hanger. So I just did the beaded hanger, still didn't do the back, but that's okay. I have a few of these that need to be done. And one of these days I'll sit down and get caught up on that, but not today. So yes, press-on nails are hanging by a thread, so those need to be redone as well. And I did want to show you that while I was editing, you all may have noticed, because I noticed it. It's not really noticeable when I look at the actual project, but on the video there was a tiny little stitch over here that you may have noticed was a half cross stitch that needed to be crossed, and I just wanted to show you that I did fix that, so we're all good there. And last but not least, I want to show you my progress on this peacock. I am obsessed with it. I'm loving this project. Those colors are so vibrant, and it's just a joy to stitch. I thought it was going to be really confetti heavy and the chart looked really kind of confusing, but once you get a color going, it's just really easy to kind of follow the symbols down. So I'm already almost done with the stitches for the peacock. So this part's already completely done and ready for beads. All I have left to do here is I have some more of the purple to fill in. There's 2 shades of purple. And then there's like I guess you call those the eyes of the peacock feathers. There's just some blue and turquoise that need to just be filled in there with some stitches before the beads, and then the flower. So this is definitely going to be something I continue to work on going into May. And as a matter of fact, I'm probably just going to work straight through and get this one done, and then probably go back to my Dimensions Lighthouse. And then after that, I'll see which old whip I bring out to focus on for May. But that's it. Like I said, this video is getting long. There is one clip you're going to see after this. I did a little brief stitch with me while I did some shout outs. And then all of you bird lovers might want to stick to the end to see my cute little visitor. Okay, bye for now. I will see you, yep, gosh, already at the end of May. So, okay, happy stitching, everybody, and thanks for stopping by. Well, before I let you go for this month, I thought I would have you join me out on my back deck while I stitch on my peacock. And I was going to give a couple of FlossTube shout outs. The first one that I wanted to shout out is a new FlossTuber, and her channel name is I Stitch Birds, ? And her name is Laura. Now, I know I don't pronounce her name the right way. I have my American accent when I say it, because I just can't get my tongue to roll the way that you need to pronounce the name the way she pronounces it. That being said, she is from Finland, and she is currently residing in Australia. And she has, I think, does she have 3 videos out now? Or maybe no, she has more. I think she has like 6 videos out now. But she is an absolute delight, a ray of sunshine. She's got a super contagious giggle, and she loves to stitch birds, and she especially loves to stitch chickens. One other interesting thing about her channel is that she has quite a collection of cookbooks, and she's starting to incorporate a little bit of cooking and baking into her FlossTube videos as well. So please go give her a watch. I'm sure that if you're not smiling before you watch her, you will be when you're done, because she definitely can brighten the day, that's for sure. Next up, I wanted to give a shout out for somebody that I've been watching for quite a few years. Gosh, easily since I started doing FlossTube in about 2014, and I think she's been doing some sort of channel since like 2011. So her channel name is Marika Stitches. I had to go check because her channel has had different names over the years. But I started watching Marika way back. She was one of the first YouTubers that I watched that did like a daily vlog. And she, over the years, has done daily vlogging. She does, has a personal blog. She does a lot of artwork, a lot of coloring, and she used to make cards. And I have always followed her and her crafty, her crafty happenings. But she just recently relaunched, I would say, an actual FlossTube channel. And I think she's on FlossTube number 27 as the recording of this right now. She does weekly vlogs, and she mostly focuses on, even in the past, she's done heaven and earth designs, but she stitches a lot of smalls. And I think she is actually doing some designing of her own now and has an Etsy store. And she's definitely been embracing the Mill Hill kits lately, which thrills me to no end because I love watching people do Mill Hill kits. Oh, and she also does Dimensions kits too. So yes, all of her stitching is right up my alley. She is hosting this year in 2023, she's hosting a Santa Mill Hill Sal. So go over and check out her channel to get the exact hashtag of that and join along if you like to stitch Mill Hill Santas. Okay, and then the third one I'm going to do today is a one that I just stumbled across. I think it was recommended to me just as a FlossTube recommendation. And her channel name is Owl Be Stitching Forever. The first video I saw of her was an unboxing of some kits that she had, some Dimensions kits and some other kits. I think they're the stamped kits. And then I went back and watched her. I think she has 16 videos now, and they're not really very long, but I went back and watched her. She's a fairly new stitcher. I want to say that she started stitching during the pandemic, but what I love about her, she just has a nice sort of calming, relaxing way about her, but she has the enthusiasm of a new stitcher, which is just kind of contagious, and it just, you know, you can just feel her excitement when she is finding all the things stitching related. And she loves the owls, you can probably tell by her name. So those are just 3 floss tubers for you to go check out. And okay, that's all for now. Be sure to leave a comment below with your entry if you are so inclined, and I'll probably let that go on for maybe a week or two. As soon as it ends, I'll put in the title that the giveaway is closed. So if you don't see that in the title, it means you still can go ahead and drop your comment and enter the giveaway. Okay, good luck everybody, and I'll see you next month. Okay, I wasn't going to have a bird segment this month, but when I looked out my window, underneath my feeder, I see a western tanager, which I only see this guy once. I've only seen him one other time, and he just comes through briefly sometimes during spring migration. So I'm going to go get my other camera and take some pictures and see if I can get some better video too.